Alright, to my subscribers, give me a chance to explain a little bit on why I'm doing this video. Pretty much it's for having extra time to do other things. I mean, this is about cars. The channel is about cars or motors or anything like that. But I find it in the summertime when we're wanting to do that stuff the most, mowing gets in the way. So that's that. If you guys are new here, this channel is about building cars, motors, whatever. Look at the playlist. If you like that kind of stuff, consider hitting the subscribe button. So let's get right into this video of my mower. So this is my Motion Lube 5000. I know the title says 10,000, and I will get back into that here in a second, but I wanted to do a small review on this. I've had it for about 3 months, and I absolutely love it. The title of this also says the good, the bad, the ugly. So we're going to start with the ugly, kind of like the bad news first type of deal. Alright, so the bad news first. I've been on a couple of Facebook pages of these that have issues. A lot of people say that the Motion company is very hard to get a hold of. Before I actually bought this mower, I had contacted them to, asking them some questions about it, and I actually never got a response back. But in the time that I've actually used this mower, I have actually not needed that, knock on wood. That's kind of a ugly part. That's the one would be really frustrating if you actually had issues with one of these. Another ugly, I feel, parts replacement. I have not seen much replacement for parts, and I have seen these things break before, especially if it powers down for whatever reason and it's on a hill. Once the power is completely off, it actually is easy to roll, and if it's on a hill and it powers down for either it dies or whatever, it's going to go down that hill, and then whatever it hits at the bottom is probably going to break it. So that's pretty much the ugly part. Let's go to the bad. The bad is not much. There's a couple extra steps you have to do with this thing than you have to do with regular mowing. You kind of have to make sure all your sticks and stuff are out of the yard, all the rocks. It doesn't like that kind of thing. I actually have a issue with crawdads. So the mounds that they build, it has got caught up on those and acted like it's lifting it, and then it draws a sensor that says the lift sensor has been done, and then it will stop. That being said, when that does happen, it locks it out in the app. The app is what you can do. You can control it, make it mow, do whatever, do your boundaries. And I have had it locked before and I wasn't home, and I couldn't really try and send it home or figure out actually where it was at and where it was locked at. I couldn't do any of that, so that's not that great of a thing for me personally. Another thing, this thing does not like to mow wet grass or dewy grass like morning time. It really gets clogged up. I haven't cleaned it. It might be, yeah. So this actually isn't too bad, but this thing needs cleaned. And as you can see, my little blades, they are turned sideways and they're probably stuck. Yeah, these are supposed to be floating blades, so that's another bad thing. Kind of stinks, but it's just another, you're saving some time, and you have to do a few things to save that time. Another bad thing is this thing does not like to mow tall grass. It doesn't do very well when it's like tall grass. Like say you have, I don't know, 6 inches of grass. It's not going to mow it that well. And unfortunately, we have here in the Midwest, Kansas City area, have had a lot of rain for the last week. So I have not mowed with this there because of the wet grass. So I'm probably gonna have to mow everything back down to a normal height before this thing can actually start going. Now, one other thing that is bad. It takes a long time to mow. It has a 14-inch, just over 14-inch cutting path, and a lot of the times when I'm actually cutting, I have it overlap a little bit, like 4 inches or so. I live on 10 acres, but I mow about 2.5 to 3 acres a weekly. Which brings me to another point with this I will touch on in just 1 second. The 5,000, the Lube 5,000, the 5,000 means square meters, so it means that it can mow 5,000 square meters. In the US, I like to convert it to acreage, so that's about 1.25 acres. I had this thing maxed out, doing everything it could, and it would take about 24 hours or so it would be an estimate time of 24 hours to mow. That's being just a one pass and going around the perimeter twice kind of deal, and that does not include the charge time of when it needs to come back to the actual docking station and charge. We go on to the next thing. Why did I put in the title a Lube 10,000? Well, on the last update, I caught wind of this thing actually being able to do more than what it says it could. So I was like, well, I'm gonna try add more areas for it to mow. And sure enough, I got it to go to 10,000 square meters, which equivalent to 2.5 acres. So that is really awesome, because I was actually contemplating buying another one of these to accommodate the rest of the property that I actually mow on a weekly basis. Now, after I did that, I checked to see how long it would take it to mow, and it was coming down to about 40 hours to mow. I mean, it's technically not you mowing, but it's a long time for it to actually get everything done and, you know, dodge rain, dodge the dewy mornings. That also doesn't include charging, so you might as well add on probably another 8 hours of charging. You come out to about 50 hours, we'll just round it up. That's the bad. Now here is the good. I am absolutely in love with this thing. I have actually not had that many issues. Momotion has put out some updates to fix some things. So, and it's about once a month for like the big updates. I believe that they actually are updating. This thing has freed up my time to do more things. Some people are like, oh, well, you're just being lazy. Yeah, I wouldn't consider it lazy, because I actually takes a long time for me to trim. But my 3 acres that I actually mow, I'd be so tired of mowing or being outside that I just decided I'm not going to trim this week, and then the trimming gets way overgrown and then it's really bad, etc. So this has allowed me to actually have that time to finish that, because I do enjoy a nice clean yard. So another good thing, this thing actually does cut very well whenever it's within its parameters. It does put lines in the yard, and I don't have that nice of a yard to be. I mean, there's weeds. Like I said, 3 acres, and making this 3 acres a golf course would be like really expensive, and I have my money spent on other things usually. See, another good thing, it does have suspension, as you can see here. Got little shocks in the front, and they do move quite a bit while I'm watching it mow. Another good thing is it is all-wheel drive. So all 4 of these wheels turn. This thing will climb and go over some stuff that probably a 2-wheel drive wouldn't do, but that is one of the reasons why I actually bought this, is because it was all-wheel drive. They claim that these things can do hills. I can't remember the exact degree, but it says that it can climb hills pretty decently. Again, this is supposed to be just a short video of my review on this thing. I just wanted to get it out there that this Lube 5000 has turned into a Lube 10,000. I don't know if it's gonna stay, I don't know if it's a glitch, but as of right now, I am able to get 2.5 acres of boundary and area for this thing to mow. One more bad thing, so as you can see here, the Lube will actually destroy some of the yard in areas whenever it turns, because it turns like a skid steer. They have put a couple of updates in for it to kind of not do so much of this, but do more like this, to help the yard not be so damaged in the constant spots that it's doing. Alright guys, so that's my review on my robotic mower, aka Momotion Lube 5000, aka Bubbles as my children have called it. So thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you got some information, and we'll see you guys on the next one.